All right, guys, how's it going? So in this video, we're going to be talking about you-know-who. I have reviewed today's Spanish print media for you, okay? The Spanish football dailies, Marca, Sport, AS. We don't take what they say as gospel, right? But we just want to see what they're claiming. We can take it in, digest it, form our own opinions. I think it's important to see what they're saying versus what our journals are or aren't saying, all right? So far in Farta de Spanish, you know, my peoples have been around here for a long time. We've reviewed these things for months, right? And so far, everything that they've said, in fairness, from what I've seen, has been accurate, right? But that doesn't mean that what we're going to talk about in this video is accurate. Please just listen to it and form your own opinions. I don't even think you need to form an opinion, just take it on board, right? So I've uploaded, well, she's still here. She goes back to England on Saturday. I've uploaded, there's a joke in there too, a video prior to this one, just reviewing what's in the Spanish print media in general today, right? Very quickly, very summarized or whatever. But I knew that this one would take a little bit longer, a bit more effort. What can I say? Right, so if you haven't got a lot of time and you can't be asked to sit through this and watch my chubby cheeks, what I can tell you is there's nothing really like, oh yeah, it's all done and dusted in this video. But there is some suggestions in AS today that Liverpool are actually willing to do business in January, which contradicts everything else that we've been told so far by the British side of things, people like Paul Joyce at the Times, and also these fuckers as well, because previously they were saying, you know, Real Madrid have offered this and Liverpool don't want to sell, but now they're going down a slightly different angle. So it's the next day, which means in the future, obviously something can be different than the previous day. So maybe they're right. I'm going to run it by you and, you know, just take it on board. So what we're going to do first, this is AS. We'll come to that in a minute. So in Marca today, now remember, Marca and AS are both predominantly Real Madrid newspapers, right? They cover all the clubs, but you open Marca and AS and you straight away you're reading Real Madrid. Then you get to Barcelona, then you get to all the other clubs. With Sport, it's the other way around. They're the pro-Barcelona newspaper, so you open that one. That's all about Barcelona, then Real Madrid and all the other clubs, right? So there is, I think it's important to know that this is pro, you know, this is the Real Madrid journals, Real Madrid fans sometimes or whatever. Is it propaganda? Is it true? Are they trying to destabilise, like ahead of the Liverpool Real Madrid game? We saw Trent Alexander in the newspapers that day. I predicted it. I said, you know, it's been quiet. It's bound to happen on match day, and it did. So you have to think, is it propaganda? Is it propaganda? What are they destabilising exactly? Trent Alexander-Arnold is destabilising the whole situation himself by not saying anything, by not signing a new deal. So I think with this one, I don't see what they're destabilising. Someone said yesterday they're trying to unsettle Trent. I don't understand how they're trying to unsettle Trent, because we all know Trent has left the door open for a move to Real Madrid. We don't know if he will go or not. I'm not a Twitter twat. I'm not an IT guy. I don't know what's going to happen, and neither do you, right? So let's see what the fuckers have got to say, right? Am I allowed to say that word on here? Would it offend anyone? Right. Watch my morning briefing. I don't. It's about an hour and a half long. Oh, one more thing. Marca is the really biased newspaper for Real Madrid, with some people saying that Florentino Perez, the president, writes the articles himself. He obviously doesn't, but you know what I mean. Picks up a phone and says, fucking write this, right? Okay. So the headline, it wasn't front page, but it was, let me think. I think it was inside, wasn't it? Yes. We don't want to sell in January, obviously referencing Liverpool. The sub-headline, Liverpool refused to sell Trent Alexander-Arnold to Real Madrid in January, prioritising their pursuit of the Premier League and Champions League. Real Madrid still want to sign Alexander-Arnold. These are bullet points. But Liverpool has rejected negotiations, don't want to negotiate according to Marca, focusing instead on achieving their goals this season. Liverpool will try to renew Alexander-Arnold's contract soon, offering a modest wage increase, but staying within their financial structure. I've seen some of these Twitter twats overnight saying, oh, Liverpool are going to offer him a new deal, and that's giving people, like, hope and that. Come on, guys. They're just trying to get engagement and clicks and shit, right? What they're telling you is what came out in Marca overnight, this shit, right, really, on the online version, which, of course, Liverpool are going to continue to try and get him to sign a new deal. So seeing, like, offers of, we'll be offering a new contract, yes, they're going to try everything, right? Do you know, like... Do you know what I mean? Like one final push, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, there'll be more of those before. Do you know what I mean? So Don't listen to them, right? This is part of the process. It's normal. What I'm saying is, by don't listen to them, is don't get your hopes up because they're saying Liverpool are going to offer him a new contract. Liverpool are trying to do this every day of the fucking week, right? So I'm just protecting you. I don't want you to get your hopes up, that's all. I don't know if he'll leave or whatever, but it might give some people hope, and I think it would be wrong to do so. So Liverpool want to renew. They're offering a modest wage increase, but staying within their financial structure. Real Madrid is expected to pursue the player again in the summer when he could leave for free. Interesting that they said that used the terms expected to and not will. Just, I don't think that's important really, because they obviously are going to, but it's not as adamant, is it? That's that kind of expression. Okay, so the full article, that was like the bullet points. Let's go through it. The English team has not lost hope of being able to renew his contract and does not want to weaken the team. Its main objective is the Premier Champions double. In other words, Champions League, Premier League double. Okay, Liverpool want to retain the player to fight these competitions. The article was written by Juan Castro. Why can't I pronounce that? Let me tell you a little bit about him. I'm sure I've got some blurb about him. I've left it out. Let me just have a look. I must have left that bit out. Anyway, Juan Castro, he writes about transfers and obviously coverage specifically, not specifically, but focuses on Real Madrid, respected in the industry, or certainly in the Spanish football industry. People like him, they think he's a good journalist, all right? But, to us, maybe he's the fucking enemy, you know what I'm saying? Okay, translated. So obviously, we've got to go with, some translations can be a bit strange. Real Madrid are still obsessed with Alexander-Arnold or nothing, right? That's what they're saying and highlighting that as well, to strengthen their right-back position in the January transfer market. But they are facing an obstacle that, unless things change a lot, seems, insurmountable. Liverpool's no to letting the player go mid-season. From the city of the Beatles, we have received certainty that, for the moment, the Anfield Club refuses to negotiate with Real Madrid. We don't want to sell our player now, whisper the English directors to those who want to listen to them. All this despite the fact that the defender's contract ends next June and he could leave for free. But what is Liverpool's reasoning for this refusal? From their point of view, the 20 to 25 million euros maximum that Real Madrid can offer them in this market do not compensate for the club's real objective, winning the Premier League and Champions League this season. I must add that Marca is saying that figure of 20 to 25 million euros is what Real Madrid are offering or willing to offer. AS, on a lot more coverage today, as you can see, a little bit on the front page and this, double spread. They say that Real Madrid are only offering up to 15 million euros, and it's Liverpool that are asking for that. So we'll get that. So what I want you to do here is just think about this. This is two of the Real Madrid newspapers contradicting themselves, right? So Marca is saying that Real are willing to offer up to 20 to 25 million euros. That's all you need to consider at the moment. So Liverpool's real objective is winning the Premier League and Champions League this season. And for that, they consider the presence of Alexander-Arnold in his squad, as Rafa Benitez would say, squad, for sure, to be essential. Nothing would be more important than this double achievement, not even the money from Madrid. For a club that is far from being in the red thanks to its ownership, the American group Fenway Sports Group. Boo. There'll be some people watching FSG out, get them out. Another battle for the player will take place in the summer when he will be free if he continues without renewing. A battle that England does not consider lost either. The player joins training today, and in the coming weeks there will also be efforts by the British club to try to convince Alexander-Arnold to extend his current contract, which ends in June. That offer, which will arrive soon, will not be exorbitant either. Liverpool's wage policy is not to go crazy with its players. The highest paid is Mo Salah, with them saying around 21.6 million euros a year, while Alexander-Arnold does not exceed 11 million euros a year. The pool will offer the fullback a little more, but without breaking their market. And that is obviously where Real Madrid's offer will come into play, which will it be irresistible in June. As Marca has been reporting in recent days, Alexander-Arnold and Real Madrid are on the same path for the future. Talks are advanced. An agreement is about to be finalised, with the question of whether it could be closed in January or in the summer. Precisely the possibility of activating it in the winter market has led to initial something between Real Madrid and Liverpool. I don't understand that word. And this has provoked the first reaction from the English team of not wanting to sit down to negotiate. The transfer window will remain open throughout the month of January, and there will be time to reconsider a situation that everything indicates will lead to Alexander-Arnold leaving for €0 for Liverpool's coffers on June 30th if there is no change of heart at the English club. What is clear at Valdebebas is that the chosen one is none other than Alexander-Arnold. There is no other alternative. If Liverpool do not negotiate now, Real Madrid will wait. All right? So that is the reporting from Marca today. Okay, that's the pro-Real Madrid newspaper. That's Florentino Perez's, vibe, if you like. Okay, so let's move on to AS now, the other Real Madrid newspaper, if you like. They did have Trent on the front page. Marca didn't, but it wasn't a dominated front page, to Trent as we've seen in last week, was it? It was a little bit at the bottom, like a picture of Trent Alexander-Arnold, bottom left corner, with the headline, Alexander-Arnold, maximum 15 million. So you see this is contradicting Marca, right? And it says, Real Madrid is ready to undertake the operation to sign, Trent Alexander-Arnold in January if Liverpool sets a reasonable price. The figure being considered by Real Madrid is 15 million euros, which is approximately £12.84 million. So AS want you to believe that the Spanish Giants are offering Liverpool 15 million euros, 12.84 million euros. That's all they're willing to go up to, 15 million euros. Slightly different reporting from the other publication, right? So inside the newspaper is this double page spread. This is the actual print copy, by the way. This isn't a website or anything. This is, I don't want to fuck with it too much, but I can I drag it along? I'm going to break it. There's a bit here as well. You see that orange and yellow there? That's a bit about Carragher and Owen and their comments. So, but let's focus on this here. Right, so this is the, like I say, this is the actual print version. The print versions vary somewhat from the online versions, or can vary. There's regional versions as well for different parts of Spain here. If you see these, like with their English websites, they're completely different. I tried to remember everything for you. So with the regional ones, that's good, because obviously if you want to know maybe a bit more about Real Madrid, you get the Madrid one, right? If you want to know about Mamardashvili, Mili Vanilli, whatever it's called, Valencia, you get the one for the Valencia region, which is where I am, right? I'm in the Valencia Comunidad, right? In the community. So it's important. I know how all this works. I get the right ones for you. I know what I'm doing. Right, so the double page spread inside, as you can see, dominated here by Trent, a big picture of him. So Real Madrid's position on Trent Alexander-Arnold, the offer details. Real Madrid is willing to reach a 15 million euro compromise, or offer, if you like. I want you to pay specific attention now, because these figures are of interest. I find them interesting. Whether we believe them or not, who knows? So they're willing to offer Liverpool 15 million euros, which is £12.84 million, to convince Liverpool to sell in January. If Liverpool requests a higher amount than 15 million euros, £12.84 million, Madrid will wait until June to sign him for free. Informal proposal. The first, listen to this, right? We saw Paul Joyce mention this, wasn't it? That said the first offer from Real Madrid has been rejected. And I remember picking up on that in a video and said, it's interesting that he said first, because we know, some people, not me, I wouldn't think this, some people think that Paul Joyce is fed, updates primarily from Michael Edwards at Liverpool. Obviously, Richard Hughes is there now. Some people think that anything you see written by Joyce is directly from Edwards, in other words, right, or from within the club, right? And Paul Joyce, this is my opinion now, because the other bit I might get into trouble for saying. This bit is definitely my opinion, that anything written by Paul Joyce, in my opinion, is with the green light of Liverpool. I don't believe that Paul Joyce would write a single article without consent or the go-ahead to do it, all right? So, these figures are interesting. The first informal proposal from Real Madrid to Liverpool was 10 million euros. That's what they're claiming here. And it's a bold claim because Marca is saying, oh no, they're willing this. This is like really specific. So it intrigues me why they think this. So that the Real Madrid offered first 10 million euros, which is 8.56 million pounds to Liverpool. And that did not generate any interest at Anfield. Right? Okay. No surprises there. And then it says Liverpool's request. Right? AS claimed Liverpool then asked for 25 million euros, which is the figure we've seen, quoted, I think, by Joyce and that, which is approximately 21.4 million pounds, right? But Real Madrid are not willing to pay that amount. Real Madrid intends to improve their first offer to satisfy Liverpool, but they have a cap, a ceiling, a maximum of 15 million euros, 12.84 million pounds, right? So I don't know. Did I manage to explain that? First offer, they went in with 10 million euros. Liverpool said, "Don't talk so damn right, fucking stupid. We'll take 25 million euros." Real Madrid said, "Nah, we'll give you 15 million," and that's what this publication believes. Okay. And if there is no compromise or if there's no deal struck this month, Real Madrid is determined to wait until the summer to make a move if necessary. And what we've been told, which I'm sure Joyce said this, I can't remember, you guys remember, this is the vibe we're getting, that Liverpool, they don't want to do any business in January. And now I've calmed down a bit, I feel the same. It's like, what is he worth to you, right? You've got to look at the pros and the cons. What's he worth to you? Is he worth 20 million quid? Get rid of him, or is that risking the opportunity, the chance of winning, silverware? Of course, you lose a quality player, as Rafa Benitez would say, for sure. You lose a quality player, and that is of course going to risk things a little bit, unless you bring someone else in who's a fucking good player, right? So you don't want to do that in some ways, but then there's other ways you can look at it and say, well, it's better than having fucking nothing in the summer, and then you got to look at it and think, where's his mind going to be? I'm sure my grandson, you'll have to watch his video, Anfield Harry, Anfield A-R-R-Y, it's not uploaded yet. I'm sure in the clips he says something about, what if we were to say meet Real Madrid, you know what I mean? In later in the Champions League, where's Trent going to be then? Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. You start thinking, is he going to go? Is he going to play his full potential with tackling and things like that, knowing that one wrong tackle could rule out a move to Real Madrid forever in your career, and that's what he'd be going through from January to the end of the season, right? So, I mean, I'm not sure we're going to see any tackles like Conor Bradley and that, little fucking hero. Do you see they've made a big mistake, Real Madrid? They'd be going for it. I'd be more bothered if Real Madrid were going for Conor Bradley. They're making a huge mistake, if you think about it. Anyway, so you've got to look at the pros and the cons. I know majority of people, I think, no, keep him because we need him, right? Yes, I get it. But it's all about what's in the mind and his performance and what's going to happen. Do you know what I mean? It's a tricky one. I understand both sides of the argument here. Anyway, strategic confidence at Madrid. There is confidence that time will work in their favour with the pressure mounting on Liverpool as February 3rd approaches. That's deadline day, I believe. It's not the last day of January. I can't remember what day it falls on. I'll be doing a live stream on here all fucking day and all night. How long was the last one in the summer? Was it about 18 hours, 18 and a half hours I did? I can't remember. Fucking, I must be mental. Right. So, if this is not resolved by then, maybe, we'll have to do a live stream. It could be interesting. So, this goes on. UEFA registration deadline. Madrid has until February 6th to register Trent for the Champions League knockout phase. If Madrid signed him earlier, UEFA's regulations, Articles 30 to 32, would prevent him from being available for the remaining matches of this phase, meaning he wouldn't play against Salzburg or Brest. And the article also says that Trent fits perfectly into Real Madrid's plans, but Madrid is not willing to pay any price for him. With regards to those rules with the Champions League, I would, and regulations, I'd be honest with you, I ain't got a fucking clue, right? I'm not interested in all that shit. You might know more about them, but this is what it says here, all right? And then AS goes on to mention Michael Owens and Jamie Carragher's comments, where they were saying that, Real Madrid wouldn't have gone in for him if they hadn't, suggested that he could go there, blah, blah, blah. And that secret talks would be ongoing, and that Michael Owen knows a thing or two about that. There he is there, look. I was watching this earlier, it just came on earlier. There he is in a Man United talk, right? And just before it goes to this clip, I still paused it. He said, my mum and dad, they went to Liverpool home and away, and, Liverpool fans. And then when I'm at United, they're with them fans, and they're hearing all these awful things. And it's very nasty, and it's awful, really. And, a tear was shed, a few tears have been shed. Like, you've gone to Manchester United, what do you expect? Do you know what I mean? And I like Michael Owen, do you know what I mean? Well, I did like him. He was single-handedly carried, he did fucking wonders for Liverpool. Let's mark my fucking words. And he also, in the Players' Lounge at Anfield once, looked after my daughter when she was very young, when she was probably, 7, something like that, 6, 7. And she went up to him and said, she was starstruck, and he was sat there with his mum and dad, was Michael, in the Players' Lounge. As you know, the Players' Lounge is a very difficult place to get in. The manager was outside, Gerard Houllier at the time, stay away from the Players' Lounge. Everyone was having a beer, apart from Michael was having a cup of tea. And she went up to him and she said, hello, and he blah, blah, talk about it. And she went, you're my boyfriend. And he went, I'm your boyfriend. He went, if I'm your boyfriend, I bet give you a kiss then. You get locked up for it now, Michael. And, society's a bit, anyway. And so he said, you better give me a kiss then. She gave him a kiss, and I took the picture at that moment. And he made a big deal of my daughter, Charlotte, at the time. And his mum and dad, lovely. Michael, in fairness to him, was lovely. And he made my princess's day. And I'll never forget him for that, Michael Owen, because he didn't have to do that. It wasn't an area where the fans congregate, and hassle. It's a Players' Lounge, for goodness sake. And he went out of his way, and I'll never forget that, because as a dad, as a proud dad, seeing your kids happy is amazing, and it fulfilled my little princess's dream, so I'll never forget that. However, he did go to Manchester United, you know what I mean? So I find it a little bit difficult, but I try not to stick the boot in too much, but he does come out with some shite, doesn't he? Anyway, so that's about it. What do you think about that then? Do you believe any of the claims in AS? They're bold claims, aren't they? Oh, they offered X amount. What was it? Let's go over it one more time before I sign off. My girlfriend will be wondering where I am. I've got to take care of business, you know what I'm saying? She leaves on Saturday. Okay, so Real Madrid, according to AS, offered £8.56 million Anfield. Nah, not interested. Liverpool went back and said, yeah, give us 25 million euros, 21.4 million pounds, maybe. And Real Madrid said, nah, you're all right, we'll offer you 12.84 million. That's it. 8.56 million, 21.4 million, 12.84 million. I hope you've made some sense of that. I'm sure you will. You're not thick like me. So, what do you reckon? Interesting that they've said all that. I don't know where I feel on it, because I listened to Felix Diaz, is that his name? I can't remember his name. You don't have like with names if he's not fucking Jack Daniels or John Smith. I can't remember them or pronounce them. But yeah, I listened to him at Marca, and I'm sure he said that they'd offered 25 million euros. Joyce said that as well. But AS is going with a completely different angle on things. So I'm just giving you details of what's being claimed. I don't need you to come in the section and go, wait, in the comments and go, we don't listen to what they're saying. Okay, you don't listen, you don't need to tell me, all right? We all know that. We don't just read what these fuckers say and believe them, just like we don't the British media or whatever. But I like to listen to everything that's being claimed. And so far, they've been spot on. So I'm going to leave it with you. All right, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you find it a bit interesting, those counterclaims about the money? Very specific, isn't it? All right. What we're doing today? Oh, I'll be doing a live stream at some point today, I guess. But it is my last couple of days with my girlfriend, so maybe, I don't know. She's here Thursday, Friday, leaves Saturday, back to England, and back on my own again then, you know what I mean? So maybe I should just spend some time with her. I think she wanted to go and do something today, didn't she? Yeah. Fuck's sake, yeah, she does want to go out somewhere, yeah. All right then, I'll leave you to it. All right, guys, please thumbs up the video if you appreciate my effort. Please drop me a comment with your latest thoughts regarding this situation. And if you want to buy me a coffee, there's a love heart under the video, hit that, and I'll give you a shout out in tomorrow morning's briefing. It pisses my haters off as well for some reason. They get really tetchy when you buy me a coffee. All right, guys, see you in a bit. All right. Boo.